Welcome. Today, we're going to explore a story that's been told for thousands of years. It's a really powerful warning about greed, and it's all captured in just the four characters you see on your screen. Shā-ji-chu-lan. We pronounce that Shā-ji-chu-lan. And that really brings us to the question at the heart of this story. Think about it for a second. How can one single mistake, just one wrong move, completely destroy a source of what seems like endless fortune? It's a serious warning about just how fast we can lose something truly valuable. Right. So, these four characters together, they form what's called a Chengyu. You can think of it as a tiny story, a whole narrative packed into just a few words. And this particular one, well, it carries a very powerful message about the danger of being short-sighted. So, to really get the full picture, we need to break it down. Let's take a look at each of these characters one by one. The story starts with this first character. It's pronounced Sha, and its meaning is very direct, very stark, to kill, to end a life. The next one is Ji, and this is the word for a chicken, a hen. This is the creature that's right at the center of our whole story. And our third character is Chu. This means to take, to fetch, or to retrieve something. There's a real sense of action in this word, isn't there? Like you're reaching out to grab something. And finally, we have Luǎn. This is the word for an egg. And an egg is such a powerful symbol of potential, right? Of new life that's just waiting to begin. So when you put all those pieces together, the literal translation is pretty straightforward. To kill the chicken, to take the eggs. But of course, the real wisdom here goes so much deeper than that. It's really about making a terrible mistake. It's about sacrificing something incredibly valuable in the long run, all for a quick, short-term gain. Okay, so let's get into the actual story behind this phrase. It's an ancient fable, and you might have even heard a version of it from Aesop's Fables. It just paints such a clear picture of this very human kind of mistake. So the story begins with a simple farmer. And this farmer, well, he owned a truly remarkable chicken. Yeah, this was definitely not your average hen. Imagine this. Every single morning, without fail, this little miracle would happen. The chicken would lay one single beautiful, solid gold egg. As you can guess, this chicken quickly became the source of the farmer's growing wealth. But you know how these stories go. One egg a day just wasn't enough anymore. The farmer started to get greedy, and right behind that greed came impatience. You could almost hear him thinking, why am I waiting around for just one egg a day, the source of all this gold? It has to be inside the chicken. I want it all now. And just like that, he was completely consumed by this idea of having a huge pile of gold right away. So he made a terrible, terrible decision. He decided he was going to cut the chicken open and get all of that gold at once. But of course, when he cut it open, there was nothing. No treasure, no pile of gold. Inside, it was just an ordinary chicken. And in that single moment, it all came crashing down. He realized what he'd done. He didn't just lose out on a pile of gold. He lost the golden egg he would have gotten tomorrow, and the next day, and for all the days to come. He had literally destroyed the source of his own fortune. And this is what makes the story so powerful. It's not really about a farmer and a chicken, is it? It's a timeless story about a very human flaw, one that we can all probably recognize in ourselves sometimes. Exactly. That's the real lesson of Shā-ji-chu-lan. It's about choosing impatience instead of trusting the process. It's about grabbing for that quick, short-term profit and completely ignoring the long-term value. When you get right down to it, it's about destroying the very thing that makes you successful, all because you got blinded by greed and couldn't see the bigger picture. And believe me, you see this exact same pattern play out all the time today. Maybe not with a literal chicken, but definitely in our modern lives. You see it at work, in our communities, even in the way we sometimes treat the environment. For sure. Here's a perfect example you might hear in an office. Someone could say, look, pushing the team to burn out just to meet this one deadline, that's just Shā-ji-chu-lan. And what they mean is, sure, we might hit the deadline. That's the golden egg for today. But we're sacrificing the team's health, their energy, their future creativity. We're killing the chicken that lays all the future golden eggs, all for a single win. So the story of the golden hen is really a reminder for all of us, isn't it? It teaches us to protect and nurture the things that bring us success, instead of destroying them for a quick reward. Learn Chinese, one story at a time.